Hello and welcome to another episode of Mocha Latte After Dark. I am your host JJ Fitzgerald, and today's topic is a serious one. It's suicide, the gift that keeps on giving. I wanted to do a podcast on this topic for at least 2 years now. I lost my ex-husband and the father of my children to suicide, and some may get upset with what I'm going to say during this podcast, but when you deal with the aftermath of it, it does make you angry. It makes you question just how someone could be so selfish. You go through a bevy of emotions when you deal with something like this. This was my first experience with suicide. Naturally, I'd heard stories from friends that had dealt with it. It has turned my world upside down. And the reason why I say it's a gift that keeps on giving is because holidays, birthdays, graduations are never the same when you're dealing with this, because there's always that feeling of this person isn't here to celebrate these monumental moments with me. So I've had to see my children suffer. My children were 14 and 15 when it happened. And every birthday, every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, there's this gloominess that comes over my daughter, not so much my son, but my daughter particularly. And she just retreats into her room. She may write some poetry. She'll post something on social media about missing her dad and share some pictures. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Because I think about the fact that I have two Black fatherless children, and we have enough in this society. So I get angry thinking that you decided to leave your children. You decided that. You made that decision. The children that you claim you wanted so desperately. It just infuriates me. And then I try to look at his side. I say, well, he was very depressed. He was addicted to opioids. He was really struggling all the way around. He was in chronic pain. He had a lot going on, and I try so hard to be sympathetic of that, but it's so difficult when every day you're reminded of it. When you look into your children's faces and you see an underlying sadness. And because I'm a problem solver and I'm a fixer, it's very difficult for me because there's nothing that I can really do to make it better. I can't imagine what it's like for them. 14, 15 years old, when you're at the most impressionable and a very crucial time of your life and this happens. I immediately put them into counseling. They didn't want to do it, so I took them out. My son is back in counseling. He finally came to me one day and said that he was ready to talk to someone. My daughter doesn't feel that she needs it. She uses creativity to cope. She talks to me. But despite it all, I know there's still that deep-rooted pain that will probably never ever go away. This is a legacy that they are going to have to carry. When they have children and their children ask what happened to grandpa, they have to rehash what happened. And then for me, I'm angry. Then I have these glimpses of sadness and compassion and feeling like I wasn't in his shoes, so I don't know how much he was hurting. Then there's always that guilt. If I had said this one thing the last time that we communicated, maybe he'd still be here. It's just so much that people need to realize when they're contemplating doing this and thinking that the world is better off with them being gone. They need to think twice about it and think about the impact that it has on everyone that's connected to them. I don't know what else to say. I just felt compelled to do this podcast. And I hope that anyone that's out there that's contemplating suicide, you will seek help. Call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Talk to someone, talk to your family, talk to friends, but just really think about it. Just really think about it, because it's such a painful thing. And it doesn't seem to get easier. It's been 2 years, and the pain is just like it happened yesterday. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Mocha Latte After Dark. And stay true.